Namaskar, Sat Shri Akal, Salam Dosto. Welcome once again to the next edition of Weekly Market Outlook. My name is Alok, and as I've explained earlier, I'm a regular trader and investor in the Indian F&O markets, and I do this analysis for my benefit on a regular basis, right? And I share it for the larger good, but standard disclaimer applies. It's only for educational purposes. I am not a SEBI registered advisor or something like that. Anything I say should not be taken as an advice to sell any stock or any security or to buy it either. Do your own research, please. Consult a certified financial advisor, because stock markets are highly paying for sure, but they are equally risky as well, right? Okay. So I'm sharing my analysis for the week which is starting 8th of August. 8th August से जो week start हो रहा है उसके बारे में अपना एनालिसिस मैं आपसे शेयर करता हूं. आई होप आपको अच्छा लगे, आपको मीनिंगफुल लगेगा, राइट? ओके, लेट्स गेट देयर. सो एज ऑलवेज आई ब्रेक माय एनालिसिस बेस्ड ऑन फैक्टर्स विच आर टू काइंड्स. वन इज न्यूज़ एंड डेटा ड्रिवन फैक्टर्स, और दूसरी होता है टेक्निकल्स. टेक्निकल्स क्या कहते हैं, न्यूज़ क्या कहती है, वर्ल्ड एनवायरनमेंट क्या कहता है, उस पर हम अपना एनालिसिस प्लान करते हैं. तो अगर हम न्यूज़ और डेटा को देखें तो, और इसमें इंडाइसेस बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्टर होता है. सो लेट्स लुक एट इंडाइसेस ने क्या किया. इंडिया के दो मेन इंडाइसेस हैं, निफ्टी एंड बैंक निफ्टी. फॉर द वीक बोथ वर पॉजिटिव, अबाउट निफ्टी 1.4% एंड बैंक निफ्टी 1.1%. देयर वाज अ डिग्री ऑफ वॉलेटिलिटी स्पेशली ऑन थर्सडे विच वाज द वीकली और मंथली क्लोजिंग एक्सपायरी, बट अल्टीमेटली इंडाइसेस वर पॉजिटिव. एंड लेट्स सी व्हाट यूएस डिड. यूएस इंडाइसेस वर आल्सो पॉजिटिव. नैस्डैक विच इज द टेक्नोलॉजी हैवी इंडाइस जो है उसकी, राइट, जहाँ टेक्नोलॉजी का वेटेज ज़्यादा है टेक्नोलॉजी शेयर्स की, दैट वाज अप बाय मोर देन 2%. और S&P 500 विच इज़ मोर ब्रॉडर एंड जेनरिक वाज अप largely flat but up 0.36%, right? So world markets and Indian markets were broadly up in the last week, which is a positive sign. FII और DII, foreign institutional investors, domestic institutional investors, इन्होंने क्या किया, लेट उनका डेटा देखते हैं. For the last week, FIIs were net buyers and DIIs were net sellers, which is very, very interesting, because for the last many months we have seen FIIs have been selling and DIIs have been buying, right? Now the tide seems to have turned. I don't know why they all generally go in opposite directions, but so be it. We are looking at data only, and FIIs recently have started buying. First they tapered off the selling कम किया, अभी उन्होंने recently buying start कर दिया, and this is a good buying figure, fairly good buying figure, right? Almost 7,000 crore for the week, and DIIs around 1766 actually crore for the month, a week they have sold. Okay, let's move forward. We know the result season is on, and many companies are coming up with the results, right? And this actually many companies have surprised the market with results, right? There have been above expectation results from many companies, right? IndusInd Bank, for example, was a case in point, right? And this week ITC gave results above expectations, UPL gave results above expectations, GAIL, Titan all gave, State Bank of India also all gave results above expectation, right? And Mahindra and Mahindra was actually in line or maybe slightly below expectations, so was Britannia, right? So, and because see, it's the what do you call, it's the feeling in the market, it's the perspective that market is taking. पहले अच्छे रिजल्ट भी आते थे जब मार्केट का एक डाउन ट्रेंड में था, तो they were not appreciated, मार्केट मूव नहीं करता था, और बैड न्यूज़ आ जाए तो एकदम से रिएक्ट करता था मार्केट नेगेटिवली. अभी थोड़ा सा फ्लेवर टर्न हो गया मार्केट का, देयर इज मोर पॉजिटिविटी. सो दीज एनी कंपनी दैट इज कमिंग अप विद गुड रिजल्ट्स इज आल्सो बीइंग रिवॉर्डेड बाय द मार्केट. इंडसइंड बैंक को देखिए कितना अच्छा उसने जंप लगाया है, लगातार बढ़ रहा है जब से उसके रिजल्ट आए हैं, राइट? सो एंड मेनी अदर कंपनीज हैव डन दैट. ITC हैज ऑलरेडी बीन गोइंग अप. सो गुड रिजल्ट्स आर बीइंग अप्रिशिएटेड, व्हिच इज द नॉर्मल बिहेवियर ऑफ मार्केट. सो दैट इज गुड. India VIX is a bit of cause of concern. Volatility index या fear index बोलते हैं हमको, jumped more than 14% for this week. I don't know why. Probably it seems in market, since they have rallied up sharply in the last couple of weeks, so maybe the market participants are feeling a bit jittery, a bit nervous, because इतना rally कहाँ से आ गया, और अभी they're feeling there's a fear of height. काफ़ी अच्छे लेवल पे हम आ गए हैं, 17,400 के करीब हम हैं, so which is a decent level. So there seems to be a degree of nervousness, and that is why probably VIX has increased, right? बट अगर विक्स यहाँ तक रहे तो चलो एक बार फिर भी ठीक है, इट्स ऑन द हायर साइड, बट अगर और बढ़ेगा तो फिर इट कैन बी कॉज ऑफ कंसर्न इन द मार्केट्स. वी गॉट टू कीप एन आई आउट फॉर द विक्स नाउ. आरबीआई ने 50 बेसिस पॉइंट और 0.5% बोलते हैं अपना इंटरेस्ट रेट बढ़ा दिया. दे इंक्रीज द रेपो रेट फ्रॉम 4.9% टू 5.4%. रेपो रेट, फॉर दोज हु मे नॉट बी सो क्लियर, रेपो रेट इज द रेट एट विच आरबीआई लेंड्स टू द बैंक, राइट. तो वो रेट बढ़ता है, बैंक को लोन महंगा मिलता है तो बैंक जब आगे लोन देता है तो वो भी बढ़ता है. तो इट्स वेरी डायरेक्टली कनेक्टेड, राइट. सो एंड आरबीआई के फ्रेंड्स 3 ब्रॉड स्टांस होते हैं, राइट. आरबीआई रेट्स बढ़ाता है, मॉनेटरी पॉलिसी कमेटी होती है, वो अपना रिव्यू करती है, देन दे डिसाइड के रेट बढ़ाने हैं, कम करने हैं, कुछ नहीं करना है. ना आरबीआई जनरली हैव 3 ब्रॉड स्टांसेस. या तो उनकी पोजीशन होती है दैट वी आर अकोमोडेटिव, मतलब हम रेट नहीं बढ़ाएंगे, वी वांट टू सपोर्ट इकोनॉमी एंड लेट द इकोनॉमी ग्रो, राइट. सो वी विल इफ रिक्वायर्ड टेक अ बिट ऑफ अ हिट, बट वी आर अकोमोडेटिंग, right. Then there is a next level of rates which is like neutral, right. We are not accommodative, but we are also not trying to looking at controlling inflation or doing anything. We are neutral. We'll act in line with what what the market factors are. And then there is a hawkish situation. When they are hawkish, they are really working on doing something, generally increasing rates because of certain factors. So far RBI has been accommodative, largely due to the COVID scenarios. Economy took a hit and also RBI stance was accommodative. Now they said their stance is withdrawal of accommodation. So अब exactly इसका क्या meaning है कि शायद किसी को नहीं पता, but maybe it is somewhere between accommodative or neutral, or maybe it is neutral. So they are definitely no more accommodative now, and they have to act क्योंकि इन्फ्लेशन कंट्रोल से थोड़ा सा बाहर जा रहा है. एंड दे आर बीइंग नाइसली कैलिब्रेटेड. यूएस ने भी इंटरेस्ट रेट्स 2 बार बढ़ाए हैं अभी रिसेंटली, राइट. सो आरबीआई इज ऑल्सो इंक्रीज रेट्स टू कीप द अकोमोडेशन इन्फ्लेशन अंडर कंट्रोल, राइट. सो ओके, सो इन्फ्लेशन actually seems to have peaked out. It was higher and has come down slightly, and hopefully it will be in control. So I don't see a cause of panic here, and the RBI is acting very sensibly in my opinion. Okay, let's move. Crude oil has reduced by around 10%, 9.2% to be precise, which is good for the world, good for India. Let's hope it continues that way. On the whole, historical perspective से अभी भी प्राइस क्रूड का ज़्यादा है, around 93.54% dollars. World should be happy around $70 per barrel, but then it's still at 93.5, but lesser than what it was last week. Around 9-10% का reduction हुआ, which is good. Non-farm payrolls data, that's the US data, comes on first Friday of every month. Important data. It really decides in short term the direction of US economy and stock markets also. Came better than expected. 5,28,000 new jobs were created, non-farm role, against expectation estimate of 2,58,000. So clearly positive data, and that helped the US markets also move forward, right? Okay, but because that shows economy is good, data अच्छा है, new jobs अच्छी create हुई है, that shows economy is good. उसकी वजह से people are also expecting that Fed, see, remember Fed is still struggling to get the inflation under control. उसको control करने की कोशिश कर रही है Fed. उसके लिए क्या करते हैं, वो interest rate बढ़ाते हैं. Interest rate बढ़ाने से किस बात का डर रहता है, economy की growth slow down ना हो जाए. But क्योंकि data कहता है कि economy की growth slow down नहीं हुई है, इसलिए Fed को भी थोड़ा सा free hand मिल जाता है, खुला हाथ मिल जाता है इंटरेस्ट रेट बढ़ाने का, राइट. बिकॉज देयर इंटेंशन इज ऑल्सो टू गेट इन्फ्लेशन अंडर कंट्रोल, राइट, विदाउट डिस्टर्बिंग द ग्रोथ रेट ऑफ द इकोनॉमी. तो अब इकोनॉमी अच्छा मजबूत चल रहा है, नए जॉब्स बन रहे हैं, राइट, मोर देन एक्सपेक्टेड नंबर ऑफ जॉब्स आ रहे हैं, नॉन फार्म पेरोल्स. सो देयर इज अ बिट ऑफ अ कंसर्न दैट फेड माइट इंक्रीज. एनीवेज दे आर लाइकली टू इंक्रीज, बट इंस्टेड ऑफ 0.5% increase, they might end up doing 0.75% increase, so which could be a bit negative, but let's see, that event somewhere is in September. Yeah, just wanted to give you how it works. Okay, a new factor in the scheme of things is China-Taiwan escalation, right. We know China and Taiwan, they are at a bit of a tussle with each other, right. To give you a bit of historical perspective, problem क्या है, right. So this has firstly happened between after the visit of Nancy Pelosi, who is the Speaker of United States Representatives House, right. पिछले 25 सालों में this is the highest ranking officer from US who has gone to Taiwan, and Taiwan had China had actually objected to the level of, they went to the level of almost warning US कि अगर ये visit हुआ तो हम react करेंगे. This actually said, this official statement was, if Pelosi visits Taiwan, People Liberation Army, which is the Chinese army, will not sit idly by, which means they had threatened military action. Right, little vague, but in terms of किस पे attack करेंगे या नहीं करेंगे, कैसे attack करेंगे, but they had threatened military action, which is big. So, but US did not back down. They continued, went ahead with the visit. अब इसका story क्या है, क्या problem है उनका? See, for those who might not be so aware, China considers Taiwan as a breakaway province of them. वो मानते हैं कि ये हमारा हिस्सा है जो कि हमारे से अभी बिछड़ा हुआ है. It is a part of China, and one day it will reunite with China. They intend to reunite it with China, if required, even by force, even by military action, army action. Right? They have always said that one day it will come back to China. Right? And Taiwan currently has an independent government. Right? And that people and government seemingly do not want to connect back with China, right? So there is a history behind them. There is something called One China policy. आपने सुना होगा. A lot of countries in the world have agreed to One China policy, which means Taiwan and China are one, including US. US भी मानता है, as per the official stand, that Taiwan and China are one country, right? But they also have direct some agreements with Taiwan, right? So now, since China has seemingly not been behaving so very well with many of the countries, so US is also increasing its contact with Taiwan in the recent years, right? And some other countries are also doing that. But now, after Pelosi visit, China, while it did not attack US or Taiwan directly, but it's now conducting very heavy, unprecedented, they call it military drills, training and security drills, but they've actually encircled Taiwan. Taiwan के चारों तरफ उनके aeroplanes जाते हैं, उनके Taiwanese airspace में जाते हैं. They filed some missiles in the sea close to Taiwan. Now Japan is also nearby. So Japanese claimed about 5 missiles have fallen in their water. उनके पानी में, उनके एरिया में 5 मिसाइल गिरी हैं चाइना की, and they are not happy with it. And China और जापान का भी थोड़ा सा friction काफ़ी देर से चल रहा है. So if this problem escalates, if China gets into conflict with Taiwan, it could be difficult for world markets, and even Japan might get sucked into that war, because Japan भी पास में है और उनको भी प्रॉब्लम है. एंड सिंस यूएस के ऑफिशियल हाईएस्ट रैंक ऑफिशियल के जाने से ये मसला बढ़ा है, यूएस might also be kind of forced to interfere, and they also already issued some statements that they feel that China is trying to change the status quo by force. इस टाइप की, मतलब जो ये स्थिति है, जो ग्राउंड पे लेवल सिचुएशन है, they are trying to change. So I just wanted to give you a bit of perspective on that. So let's see how it happens, and let's pray it doesn't get bad. But if it does get bad, any conflict, any war is an economic phenomenon. Never forget that. Economic implications तो होती ही है, right? We've seen it in Russia-Ukraine war. It has badly affected all of us, more than what we thought, more than what I all thought also. Okay. So let's come to technicals now. And technical levels अगर हम देखे जाएं तो Nifty, if you see in the last many days and weeks, has had a fabulous rally, but seems to be pausing a bit now. I won't say it is going back, it has not gone back, but seems to be pausing a bit now, right? The rally seems to be tiring, it's overbought on many indicators, and I feel it's currently at 17,400. 17,400, 500 itself is a difficult level, right? It has not managed to close above that even for a day, while it has crossed that during the day, but it's very close to that now. I feel even that current level of 17,400, 17,500 might be a difficult level to cross, at least in the short term, which is 1 week. But at the most, I feel it could go to 17,800, while other levels have also been plotted. At the same time, I don't see it falling very badly. So maybe 16,800 I feel unlikely to get broken in this week. So my opinion is Nifty movement sideways with a bit of a bearish bias, right? And let's see what the Nifty option chain data says, and that tells you a similar story. If you look at it, 17,500 has the maximum open interest. Actually, maximum open interest is 18,000, but very similar to 17,500, which is close to current levels. It means there is a good possibility that Nifty might not go up from here, whereas on the lower side, the highest open interest is at 17,000. So it might oscillate in that range, एंड एट नियर ATM की हम बात करें 17,400 की, तो calls are significantly higher than puts. So it looks like Nifty might not be going up in a short time from now, may not fall too much also. That's what feeling is. 17,500, 400 is critical, and then 17,800. On the lower side 17,000 and 16,800 are good support zones. Okay, Bank Nifty की अगर हम बात करें तो Bank Nifty is currently at somewhere around 38,000, and upside seems a bit limited for Bank Nifty also. Similar factors. The rally has been beautiful, very sharp, very fast, and now it seems to be tiring, bit of an overbought situation. So 38,800 looks like a bit of a strong resistance there, right? May not go above that. 38,500 में भी थोड़ा सा challenge दिख रहा है, and on the lower side I think 36,800 should provide a good support. So opinion is again sideways with a bit of a bearish bias. Let's see what the option change data for Bank Nifty tells us. I think it's also giving a very similar story to what we had saw in Nifty option chain. So at the current level itself, there is a reasonable amount of open interest, and it might struggle to move up from here. And on the lower side, there is a support at 37,500 and 37,000. I feel it should go to the level of 37,000 for this week, but and below that 36,800 is a good support area. So let's see how the week pans out. I am just sharing my opinion and views, and I work accordingly, and I have a right to be wrong. Okay, so friends, that's it from me for this week. इस हफ्ते के लिए मेरा एनालिसिस आपके साथ मैंने शेयर किया, and I hope you liked it. I hope you find it meaningful. I would like you to post some more comments, good, bad, ugly. If you like it, say it. If you don't like it, say it. अगर आपको किसी टॉपिक पे लर्निंग कंटेंट चाहिए, आपको कुछ चीज़ समझना चाहते हैं, प्लीज़ से, बिकॉज on my channel I don't post only weekly reviews, I also post some learning content related to financial markets, whether it's trading, whether it's investing. And so like the video, if you actually like it, share it with your friends, right? So that helps me, that encourages me also to do a better and better job going forward. Thank you once again, shukriya, and Jai Hind.